In this video, I will be showing you everything you need to know about disconnectable TCs in Rust. First, I will briefly explain why you need disconnectable TCs and talk about the way how they work. And then I will show you multiple ways on how you can incorporate these disconnectable TC methods in your base designs. This is a very useful, short video, so pay close attention. And I'm sure you will benefit from this knowledge. TC base designs. They are everywhere in Rust. In Rust, these base designs are very popular and very strong due to 1. Upkeep can be spread over multiple TCs, allowing bigger buildings, but also making bases a lot more cheaper. And 2, building privilege is spread over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and sometimes even 16 or 17 TCs in total. This last part is what this video is all about. See, building a multi-TC base is one thing. Rebuilding a multi-TC base is another. I've often seen people asking how they can replace the main TC in their base after being raided. They are unable to replace the main TC in their base because of their external TCs, and they don't know how to fix this. The easy but rather impractical way to fix this issue is by breaking every single multi-TC, then place your main TC back, and then placing all the external multi-TCs back. Now, this is very annoying if you're playing Rust actively, and it's just such a waste of time, really. Instead, there's a more practical way of resolving this issue by using disconnectable TCs. Them being disconnectable makes it so that you don't have to destroy any TC in your base. You simply break all the connections, you replace the main TC, and then place the connections back. In this video, I will be showing you the best and most practical ways on how to build these disconnectable TCs. The examples I'm about to show you go in order from simple to hardest, but also from cheapest and most easy to the best ones. Now let's start off with example number 1. I call it the Twig disconnectable, which is originally created by a guy named dtwd. This is the simplest disconnectable TC you can do. You simply build a roof at the end of your external arm, and that connects to the middle of a full wall. This full wall can be placed by using raised foundations. Now, by covering the whole thing up with a door, you can make the twig inaccessible to anyone except people that can open the door. By breaking the twig, you disconnect the roof and the external TC from the rest of the building, making it a disconnectable TC. The downside of these are that they are pretty easy to door raid. Example number 2 is very well known. It's the mini Satori disconnectable, originally created by mini Satori. This one you must have seen on servers or build videos before. Simply by overriding stability when placing a roof at a certain part, it will break the square frames that are connecting the external multi-TC to the part of the base. By placing 2 half walls instead of a full wall that are then connected to square frames, you cause a stability override method that when placing a roof, it will take priority. And then, since the stability at that point is too low, it will break the squares connecting the base to the TC. Now, example number 3 is also created by mini Satori. This time it's the compact mini Satori disconnectable. This one pretty much works the same as example number 2, although this time by using triangle floor frames, you can make the extension towards the external multi-TC a lot shorter. This can be very useful if you don't want to build a big looking base, or if you simply don't have a lot of space for external multi-TCs. Both example number 2 and 3 are fairly easy to build into gatehouses, bunkers, and flank bases as well. Now, example number 4 is definitely the best one you can do right now, but it's also the most complicated one. It's originally created by someone named Mr. Man, and I think it's the strongest external disconnectable TC in Rust. This one has no weak spots, it cannot be soft-sided, and is at least 8 rockets, or 16 if you upgrade everything to HQM to raid. I definitely recommend building this one if you can. Now, this one is a combination of a bunker that you have to freehand, which is a little bit complicated, but you can easily do by practicing, and the stability override with the roofs. What you want to do is gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then 3 triangles as well. And now we want to place the TC on this one. Full walls. But let's say there's a TC on that one, and then for this one you could do like a battery room, right? So you'd have that. You can close that in, and then you remove this triangle. Right, so it's basically like that. And of course, this would be your base, so you leave that like that. Now, you want to do 2 half walls here. You don't have to do this one. You could actually just do this. Fairly straightforward. Now, the tricky part is where you have to build the bunker. Now, I'm not a super pro in this, but what you want to make sure is that at least one of the 2 corners of the square is attaching either this corner right here or this corner, which means that the wall that we're about to place on top of it will be held up by the square, right? You want to make sure it's also like the same height. So if you can see right now, that's pretty alright. Now you want to make sure that you're able to place a frame up there, and now you cannot. So you notice like that, you want to make sure you're able to place that still after you place this. So let's try again. Alright, there we go. So now you can open a bunker. And you don't want this to be a square, because it won't allow us to properly open the or disconnect the TC anymore. So what you want to do is you want to turn that into a triangle. Now how to do that? It's fairly simple. You build 3 triangles out like that. And then you do square, triangle, triangle. As you could see, just to show you, this triangle can be removed and this wall stays up. Even though it's technically not connected on one side. It's actually not connected on the right side here, and it is connected on the left side, which is just enough. So we turn it into a square, and as you can see, or I mean a triangle, as you can see, we place a triangle roof here, and we can actually open a bunker. Now it is fairly easy to do once you start practicing with it. As you can see now, we have the TC connected to the part of the base as well. Now, you might wonder how to open it. If you do this, it doesn't open. What you want to do is place another square floor foundation and place a roof right here. And that breaks the bunker, or that breaks the connecting part. And this is definitely by far the best one you can do. I would like to mention that whenever you build these external TCs into something that's multi-purpose, it's extremely important that you keep testing if the disconnectable system keeps working, as you could easily mess up the stability by adding some extra stuff. So make sure to check that. Now there are a couple of extra pieces of information regarding multi-TCs that I think I should mention related to this topic. First of all, there's a flaw to the takeover TC system in Rust, where it prioritizes the first place building block first, which can be exploited by raiders, as GameLights explains in the following video. Note that this is a pretty small chance of actually happening to you, as it's fairly complicated and requires some proper dedication to pull off. Second, I think it's also useful to mention GameLight's video on how to do disconnectable TCs when you have to deal with extreme elevated terrain heights. His explanation you can watch on the following video. Now there are most likely a lot of other ways you can disconnect your TCs. With this video, I hope I've inspired you to bring your building to the next level if you weren't using these methods yet. I hope you all appreciate the tips. I did my best to credit everyone as firmly as possible, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more.